Welcome to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network, a station dedicated to the concept that all manifestations of the divine are equally valid. Join Reverend Terry Power HP, Robin McKean, and all the hosts for programming covering a wide range of spiritual topics, right here on Blog Talk Radio.
Enter the realm of living myth. Voice of Olympus, hosted by Hercules Invictus and Athena Victory, celebrates the mythic impulses of ancient Greece and Rome, and they invite you to celebrate with them. Welcome to Voice of Olympus.
Greetings, welcome to Voice of Olympus. This is Hercules Invictus. Today I'm flying solo. Athena Victory is off adventuring. The Dunkins from California are opening a door to the future. And I'm very excited to have them on as well. Michael and Dianne, greetings.
Greetings, Hercules.
Oh, greetings, Hercules.
How is everything in California? You guys have so many exciting things happening. I wish I had more radio time.
One of the most exciting is today is the anniversary of the day we met 26 years ago.
Happy anniversary.
Well, yes, it's like an anniversary. It's been 26 years. It was May the 8th, wow. 1991.
And today is my eldest son's birthday, too.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. Well, what's his name, Hercules?
Constantine.
Constantine. Oh, boy, that's a powerful one to choose.
And he just got a dog, so he's doing very well, and I just spoke with him a little while ago.
Well, that's wonderful.
So you guys, in addition to all the cosmic things that you are doing, are also starting a temple inside your sanctuary, and that's very awesome. And I thought today might be a good time to share that since you've just introduced it.
Well, thank you.
Well, we have greetings, Hercules. What a wonderful guest. You went from one Michael to another Michael here.
Yes.
We have
both
a couple
Michaels have awesome things to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a couple different temple scenarios going on in our home at this time. I think in past radio programs we've mentioned that the local universe Father and local universe Mother and Infinite Mother Spirit have begun a temple in our backyard to the Infinite Father, which would be the male counterpart to the Infinite Mother Spirit, who, as we've described before, is the third person or third pair of the Trinity, according to the Urantia book. Now, we have another temple scenario, which we'd like to talk about a little bit.
Okay.
In the early 1990s, we had a chance visit. You know, you talk about synchronicities often. We had a really amazing synchronicity in '94 when we met some representatives of the Tao.
Yes.
And their organization is called Maitreya Great Tao. And they were from Malaysia. They're Chinese, but they're from Malaysia. and they're part of this great Maitreya Tao organization, which is based in Taiwan, and it is it's a mother centered, a divine mother or infinite mother centered spiritual tradition, but through the influence of this infinite mother comes the influence or the person of Maitreya. And Maitreya is in their religious tradition is the Buddha to come, just like in the Buddhist tradition. Maitreya is the Buddha to come, and he's the New World teacher. And as we've talked about in our past radio programs with you, that Dianne and I have recently been very involved with the Urantia book organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And the Urantia book talks about a magisterial son, which is a paradise son, who comes to a particular planet at a particular time to adjudicate the spiritual progress of a planet and to put forces in motion to uplift that particular planet and the people thereon. Well, we were involved with the Maitreya Great Tao out of Taiwan, and now we are involved with the Urantia book. So we have received information that the Maitreya talked about with, in the Maitreya Great Tao and other traditions like Theosophy and Benjamin Creme and others, and this magisterial son in the Urantia book are one and the same. And we are told that this magisterial son, also known as Maitreya, is here now, and he's doing a very special mission that will last 20 years and which influence will be felt for 50 years. And we are introducing this to our Urantia book community, the information we're getting about Maitreya and this mission, and we're also going to be visited this coming Sunday by representatives of Maitreya Great Tao out of the
Awesome.
out of the Los Angeles area. And as interfaith Argonauts, Dianne and I we're going to try and find some common ground and a link
Awesome.
so that we can spread more of the message of the local universe Father, local universe Mother, infinite Mother Spirit, and now Maitreya.
And you're doing an awesome job in bridging what appear to be different types of spiritualities that are focused on Maitreya, and you're overcoming the curse of the Tower of Babel, and you're joining things together. So this is extremely exciting.
Well, it really is, Hercules, and it really goes back even further than Michael's saying in the 90s. In the 60s, my parents and myself, we were all in Colorado Springs, and who could guess but Mark Prophet and Elizabeth Clare were there, and my parents got to go to all of those wonderful gatherings and wonderful lectures at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs to see them.
Wow.
And then when I got to California later, she did come for lectures there in Los Angeles, and I got to see her and bring my family. And also in San Diego, she did a wonderful talk, and she actually dictated a talk from Maitreya too in 1976, I think 77. 76 November, in November 21st, I think. And so, it was really exciting getting to meet her, and I got to be there when she put a beautiful green crystal on my forehead and got to talk to her. And so it really goes back a long, long time that we've been talking about Maitreya within our family.
And everything's finally coming together. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yes, it's just an extraordinary thing.
Now, I have an affinity with the I Am activity. I just started sharing this publicly, but for a big chunk of the 1970s, I was a channel for what would be called an I Am activity group. They didn't name themselves anything, but they were active in downtown New York City. And I was a primary channel for a number of years. And the group was started by George Wayner. And in the circle, he had Rudolph Valentino and Natasha Rambova. And they had ties to one of Blavatsky's esoteric groups.
Oh, my
goodness. I ran into this material rather many years after that, but with Elizabeth Clare Prophet, with Geraldine InnoCentive, with the Mark Age material, and then some other Brotherhood organizations like Unarius. I've been informed by those springs, as you guys have been informed by others, but the message, despite the packaging, is consistently very clear. And I'm so glad that somebody is focusing on the clarity of the message because I'm finding that many people intellectually like to stimulate themselves with different spiritual doctrines, but they don't attempt to live the message of the messages that they've received. And you guys certainly are living the life.
Oh, we are trying to. Well, I'll tell you, though, I do want to mention I sure loved Elizabeth. Oh, my goodness, did I love that lady. Just thought she was so beautiful and so wonderful. And when I did actually get to meet her, you know, she had on big cowboy boots, Hercules.
Really?
She had cowboy boots on, and she was a bigger woman than I am. I'm just a little 5'2", you know. She was bigger, but with those cowboy boots, she really looked impressive.
And she built quite a following over the years.
She did. I just loved her dearly. She passed away October 15th, 2009, and my heart broke for her. I was so sorry. She had a hard time, you know, the last 10 years of her life.
Yeah,
very
they
hard
went through
time.
some unusual adventures there, and they got a lot of negative attention, unfortunately.
I know, and she was such a beautiful lady. But I truly could not think of anyone better to emulate. I've just put her picture in front of my dresser, and always will remember her.
She kept a lot of this information alive during a time when it might have been lost.
That's right.
The Geraldine InnoCentive material was very difficult to get until fairly recently. The white books, as they're called, and the Guy Ballard books, which were green, the green books, they were also very hard to find for a while. So Elizabeth Clare Prophet's work kept that knowledge alive during a time when it might have gone underground again. So she did a great service regardless of what happened later.
I particularly loved her because she gave a dictation the night that I went to San Diego at the Masonic Temple in the late 80s on being Nefertiti, which was Akhenaten's wife. You know, the King Tut, you know, big museum thing. I'm sure you probably heard about it or went to see King Tut exhibit. But Nefertiti was his mother-in-law, and she said that she was Nefertiti, and that night she gave a beautiful dictation on Saint Germain, and it was Valentine's Day. It was in February that we went to the Masonic Temple down there, and she talked about Saint Germain wanting everyone to come to him, and he wanted everyone to be his Valentine. And when I left that night, after receiving that initiation with the green crystal from her personally, I stepped on something in the parking lot, and I picked it up, and it was a solid gold locket, and it said, "Be my Valentine."
Aww.
And I still have that. So I just always think of that and her and Saint Germain and all of them, and Maitreya. So through the years, they have just been a part of our life.
Now, a lot of people who aren't familiar with the IM activity, the IM activity and the information that's come through it is actually very ancient. And I found resonances in that material with material I'd studied that happened during the Hellenistic era, which is between Alexander and Cleopatra, which spilled over into Rome. And in a lot of the spiritual writings, you'll find a precedence. And also, one of the things that people should know is theosophy cannot become lost. Because if you do any type of internal work, any type of meditation, any type of deep prayer, you will eventually tap into theosophical knowledge. So it survives despite what happens to it in the world, and it can be accessed by anybody who is sincere enough to seek it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the Tao, the Great Maitreya Tao, that we're going to be meeting on Sunday,
mm-hmm.
it seems when there's not a lot of literature in English about it. Dianne and I are kind of on an island, so to speak, with Maitreya Great Tao, because it is it's centered in Taiwan. And they have not successfly reached cross-culturally as much as they probably would want to. So Dianne and I, in Mission Viejo, California, we're both Caucasian. We grew up Christian, and we're definitely Western people, that we're kind of on an island out here. But, like you were mentioning, though, they have, at the root of their doctrine and their beliefs and their traditions, is theosophy. It's that ancient wisdom that speaks through the core of what they're about and what their message is. And, of course, they are preparing for and expecting the coming of Maitreya, to uplift the planet, just as modern theosophists talk about Maitreya and how in the past Christs and avatars were mentioned about coming to the planet and uplifting the planet. So we're very excited. Yeah, we're very excited on Sunday to see them and to kind of reconnect with them. And we're building a really big bridge with them.
Yes, you are.
And I think because when we were involved with them 20 plus years ago, they were already talking about putting a lot of their literature into English and translating a lot of their things. But still, even to this day, there's not a lot of literature in English. So we're hoping that maybe with this bridge we're building, that they can start to be translating some of those things and maybe even preparing for or planning for a Western presentation of their type of mother-centered, Maitreya-centered spiritual tradition.
Yes, it's so funny, Hercules, because 20 years ago, in fact, more than 20 years ago, we brought our altars in the home, and they made our home a holy temple, and we've had 25 people take the Dao ceremony here in our home. So we have all these Maitreyas on all the altars and all around the house and all these statues. And now, through the Urantia book, and now, of course, more than that through Theosophy and Benjamin Creme and all of this. Now we actually are told that we may actually have the real Maitreya actually come to our home. It's just something that is so incredible that I really can't hardly believe it. To be honest with
awesome.
you, it's just incredible.
Yeah, that is phenomenally awesome,
I
Dianne.
have been promised that he will come to the home at some time. Now, I don't know when, and we don't know when, but we are waiting for a new message on our new World Peace evening of May 26th at 10 p.m. that we might receive some more news about what he is doing now as far as his employment, and that's what we're waiting for.
Very awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it's just been an extraordinary journey, and Maitreya has been all through it, whether it's been through Elizabeth Clare or whether it's been through our friends with the Tao and Master Wong, or whether, when I was taking my younger son to Ojai all the time to see Krishnamurti's home. I don't know if you've ever read too much about Krishnamurti, but
years ago, yes.
They say that he may have been overshadowed by Maitreya from, probably 1925 to 1927 for a couple of years there, or, beginning in that for at least a couple of years before he dissolved the Eastern Star. And so my son and I would really enjoy seeing his home and listening to his tapes, and so I was influenced by Maitreya at that time too, which was many years ago. So it just seems like in so many avenues that the roads are now finally leading to his actual presence being felt in the world.
That is awesome, and the universe seems to want your voice out there sharing these things, because I've been getting strategic cancellations or blocks of time open. So that will continue, I'm very sure. Now, we don't have a lot of time left, so why don't you share with the folks at home how they can access this information and tap into all the wonderful things that you're doing.
Okay, well, thank you again, Hercules, for inviting us on.
My pleasure.
We appreciate that, and I guess the universe is using you as a conduit for our work and for our ministry, and we appreciate that. Well, we have a YouTube channel, and we have some videos on there. Mostly a Urantia book, linked with the Urantia book, and but we do have a couple of new videos that we've put on of our team meetings with the local Universe Father and local Universe Mother regarding this magisterial mission and 10-year plan and 6th revelation, which we've been talking about before on your program. And our YouTube channel is my name. It's MichaelDunkin. It's like Dunkin' Donuts, but without the apostrophe. So it's Michael Dunkin. And then we're on your website. There is a little bit of information on your website regarding a little bit of a bio for us. And you are gracious enough to announce our worldwide peace prayers on your website. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Thanks. Our next worldwide prayer circle for world peace is Friday, May 26th at 10 p.m. Pacific. And our mantra is, wherever you are in the world, say a prayer for world peace or a good thought out into the universe for world peace. And
awesome.
then finally, my email address, if you want to contact me personally, is MichaelDunkin, the number 1 at hotmail.com.
I just want to mention, too, that we actually are registered in Taiwan as a temple for the Tao. And we have been working on the home to make it appear more so. We've been really putting in some hard work here this last weekend since we have the Tao coming this Sunday.
And
that is
I wanted
extremely awesome.
Thank you, Hercules. And I wanted to mention one more thing.
Sure.
If you'd like, there is a website you can download the Urantia book for free. Actually, 2 websites that are associated with the national organization. There's truthbook.com, and there's urantiabook.org. And then if you wanted to know a little bit more about Maitreya Great Tao, which we're calling the Tao, it has a lot of similarities with a spiritual tradition called Yiguan Tao. That's YIGUANBAO. There are a lot of similarities, so if you want to read a little bit about Maitreya Great Tao, it's very similar to Yiguan Tao. There's a Wikipedia on it and some other information too.
That is awesome. And next time I have you on, I'd like to explore the figure of Maitreya more fully. Because, as you pointed out, Maitreya appears in many diverse spiritual paths that are all related, but they're all focused on Maitreya. So if the folks at home could have a greater understanding of who and what Maitreya is and how it ties into, that would be awesome.
Yes, it goes back to 90,000 years, and of course much more before that.
So we'll devote an entire episode to it. I've received some good news recently as well. We've been spinning off another show that's going to be coming soon. I'm just waiting for the recordings to come back. It's going to be both visual on YouTube and also on the e-radio as is this broadcast. And also, instead of extending this show and making it longer, the Spiritual Unity Radio Network may give me another show. So I might have 3 shows running.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, you're
we'll
doing a wonderful job. I'm not surprised to hear that.
Thank you, Dianne. We'll have plenty of time to present this material when that happens. So hopefully it'll happen soon, and we're off to new adventures.
Exactly. Well, Maitreya is a subject that could be talked about for eons and eons of time.
We'll start with a couple of hours and take it from there. Dianne and Michael, thank you so very much. Always a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. I wish you well, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Well, blessings upon you. You're very gracious to have us.
And blessings to Athena, too.
Yes, of course.
Thank you
your
very much.
mother and your family. Everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was Michael and Dianne Dunkin, as always, bringing us wonderful things that are happening and unfolding in the world. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Until then, grand adventures and joyous journeys. This is Hercules Invictus signing out.
Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. Join us 7 nights a week for exciting programming covering a variety of expressions of faith. And remember, all manifestations of the divine are equally valid.